Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're going to count down the top 10 Hasbro Marvel Legends. Now, there are a lot of Marvel Legends, especially if you count all of them, but just for Hasbro, there's still a whole bunch, so this list, it's not completely arbitrary, but I had to just pick some. And if I had to make this list again on a different day, I might come up with different figures. There are a lot that are interchangeable. There are a lot of good ones, despite the fact that there are a ton of bad ones. We have a lot of good ones. So this is my top 10 list from how I was feeling when I came up with the list. You guys can let me know what you think, but these are the top 10 as I would pick them when I thought about making this list. The SDCC Archangel, it does leave a lot to be desired, but luckily it does give us something that we really desired, and that is metallic wings. These shiny wings alone are the reason this guy made the list. They're not perfect, but they look freaking cool. Mix that with the black and silver paint job and the blue face, and it's just a really appealing figure despite its flaws. The Comic-Con exclusive Thor is, for me, the best Thor figure out there. It's basically the same one as the regular release, but with special paint, and that special paint makes me happy. I like the lightning effect on the hammer and the shading throughout the chest. Overall, I really like the sculpt and look of the body, and it has a very powerful comic feel to it. So this Thor is, for me, the best Thor, and so he belongs on this list. The Ben Reilly Spider-Man is a particularly fun figure to have. The articulation works really well. There's just a few little bits here and there that are kind of an issue, but the articulation's good. We have a really nice paint job. It's pretty darn clean, especially given that most figures don't have anywhere near as much paint as this guy. And we have a bunch of interchangeable parts to basically give us a new figure, which is the Spider Carnage. You really can't ask for too much more. For a $20 price point, this is a really solid figure. The Pizza Spider-Man is going to end up being known as the best Spider-Man figure to date. The only real competition it has is the McFarlane Spider-Man, so if that tells you anything, it should tell you that this is a really good figure. He comes with an interchangeable head with the mask up, he comes with interchangeable hands for various poses, and some pizza, so that's always nice. But he's got a really nice paint job, an overall pretty good body sculpt, and really nice articulation. This guy almost has everything going for him. The comic version of Gamora is a great example of a good female figure. She uses most of the same body parts, but look at that paint job. Everything on her is painted, and it's really cleanly done. It makes the figure stand out in a great way. She also comes with both a plastic and a cloth cape, and an interchangeable head and a sword. So she's just pretty much perfect. You really can't ask for more. Great paint job, good articulation, good sculpt work, and interchangeable parts. It's everything you want in a Marvel Legends figure. The new Kraven figure is a really good example of how good Marvel Legends figures should be. They did the right amount of reusing body parts from older figures and gave him a good amount of new stuff. He does have a fair amount of paint on him and an accessory. This guy pretty much has it all. They really need to take this guy as an example in going forward with the line. You really just need to have those new parts, and he has them. Really, the only drawback on him is his goatee. It's not painted very well. Otherwise, he's really good. The Age of Ultron Thor is a perfect example of a great Marvel Legends figure. The only thing wrong with this guy is the likeness isn't great, but if you look throughout the torso and the rest of the body, he's loaded with all of the articulation you want. He's got a ton of sculpt work and a nice job of paint. It's just, there's golds, there's silvers, there's glosses, there's satins, there's everything you want in a paint job. It's on there, and it comes with all of the articulation and everything else you want. How can you beat that? The Stealth Cap still for me stands as the best Captain America figure that we've gotten from Hasbro. It's got an all new mold and a fairly clean paint job. It doesn't have the most paint in the world, but what's there is pretty well done, and the articulation works really well on this guy. On top of all of that, we have interchangeable hands, a nice shield accessory, and we have an interchangeable head. There's really not too much more they could have done. It's a really, really solid Cap figure. Dormammu is a great example of a good Marvel Legends figure. It doesn't have a ton of new parts, but it has all of the ones it needs. And it has a really nice, though basic paint job. It's just enough to give it what it needs again. And he does have translucent flaming hair and 2 cool Ghost Rider skull heads that are nice accessories. Translucent plastic in his hands also makes the figure stand out. It's got just enough of all of the things the figure should have to make this guy stand out in a collection. Plus, it's a really big figure, so that always helps too. This modern Taskmaster figure pretty much has it all. We have new style of articulation for the ankles, which is fantastic. We have some really nice looking accessories. We have an interchangeable head, metallic parts, varying paint finishes, decent paintwork. It really has everything you want in a figure. It's got really nice articulation, and really the only drawback to this guy is that he reuses the holsters from Zemo, but it's really easy to overlook when you're looking at such a really nice figure. They really nailed this one.